everybody, it's German Girl Living in America. How you guys doing today? Today I'm trying to touch a subject about 7 things everyone should understand about interracial relationships. Well, I'm white from Germany. I'm married to a black man from Jamaica. Our kids are mixed, so I have seen a few things when we first started dating, how people were looking at us and what people were mumbling behind their back, especially the older generation. And it has changed in the last decade. It's still there, it's still visible, it's still surrounding us, but it's not as intense as it used to be. But hey, it is still there. You still have to deal with it. You still have to explain to your children what is going to be and what people may think and what they try to make them believe. So you have to be aware of certain things. So this article is about, like I said, 7 things everyone should understand about interracial relationships. They say nearly 50 years after Richard and Mildred Loving took on America's anti-miscegenation laws, partners of different racial backgrounds no longer needed to hide their relationships for fear of legal persecution. But while things have changed socially, there's still a lot missing from the conversation surrounding interracial relationships. The country has a long way to go in terms of racial discourse, period. In the case of interracial dating, there are still huge stereotypes, misconceptions, and presumptions about what it means to date someone with a different race. As a black woman dating a non-black and non-white man, I've become more and more aware of the way in which these stereotypes still dictate the way we think about and talk about interracial dating. Below are some of the things you should keep in mind when it comes to interracial relationships. Okay, here we go. It's not just black and white or straight. So much of discourse surrounding interracial relationships seems to center on black and white couplings. These are the images we see most in the media. White man with black women or black man with white woman. But we should bear in mind that there are all kinds of couplings in the interracial dating world that aren't acknowledged nearly as much, and that interracial can make a black woman with an Asian man. Sometimes interracial couples may not even look like interracial couples. Some multiracial people can read as racially ambiguous, or be mistaken for a certain race or ethnicity that they don't identify with. All these kinds of pairings come with a wholly different context of meaning, as do interracial couplings between people who aren't heterosexual or cis. A broadened idea of what constitutes an interracial relationship also broadens the discussion. It's not just about sex. Many questions some people in interracial relationships receive hinges on sex. Are black girls freakier than white girls? Are Asian girls more submissive? Who has the bigger penis, black man or Latino man? These kind of questions only perpetuate racial stereotypes regardless of whether they are positive or not, and turn the idea of interracial dating into a kind of experiment or phase. While sex can be an important component of many people's relationships, it shouldn't be viewed as the primary motivation for any committed relationship, interracial or otherwise. There's a fine line between admiring and fetishization. It's universally wrong to fetishize a romantic partner to the exclusion of respecting them. As such, fetishization and sexualization in interracial relationships is wrong. Seeking out a relationship with Asian women because they are supposed to be submissive, or black women because they are freaks and bad, is not cool. Mandigo and spicy Latino lover stereotypes about men of color are also harmful. Notice that all of these stereotypes are sexualized, turning people into objects and ideas. Admiring the differences in a partner who is of a different race is fine. Turning those differences into things to be compartmentalized and sexualized? Not so much. Being in an interracial relationship doesn't mean you've solved racism. Among some members of the Team Swirl community, there are those who think that the beauty of these interracial couplings signifies a better world. Well, while dating outside of our race or your race might demonstrate that you are open-minded, at the end of the day, interracial relationships won't necessarily solve racism. The growth of interracial relationships in the last 20 years certainly demonstrates that we have progressed towards accepting these kinds of relationships and racial equality overall, but we have a long way to go. In a perfect world, race would not be an issue, but it is, and it's okay for interracial partners to acknowledge that. In fact, it's encouraged. No people of color who date white people don't hate themselves. The idea that a person of color who dates a white person is harboring some kind of self-hatred is far too simplistic. One, of course, there are instances where issues or self-acceptance may be in play, but this is not a hard and fast rule. No black man and woman who date or marry white partners, especially after being with black people in the past, are not necessarily doing so for status or validation. There are a lot of reasons why people are attracted to the other people. If a black person dates someone outside of their race, their blackness and how they feel about it should not automatically be called into question, and that's true. It doesn't matter. We are still the same. Don't judge me because I went out of my race, or don't judge my partner for going out of his race. It is what it is. You can't decide who your heart falls for. I personally don't see color. You can be pink, purple, dotted with stripes. If I like you as a person, if I like your soul, your mind, your heart, I look past you. I'm married to, I'm married to a black man. He has his standards, he has his culture, and I have mine, and I will never disgrade him for what he believes in. And neither does he disgrade mine. So I can't look at it like that. I accept him, he accepts me. And that's what should matters. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, also says here, calm down, it's not that big of a deal. At the end of the day, interracial dating doesn't always have to be a big deal, which is to say questions like what will your partners think, or what about raising your kids in two different cultures might be a factor for some couples, but not at all. Projecting expectations about what individual couples experience rather than allowing them to show and tell does nothing to move the conversation forward. An interracial relationship is first and foremost a relationship between two people, not some big political statement. These couples are revolutionary by simply just being. Let interracial couples decide what being in an interracial relationship means to them. I'm proud. I love my husband. I love who he is. I love our children. They make cute, adorable, handsome. I wouldn't want to trade them in the world. And I don't regret anything. And I've been raised by my parents not to see color. Like I said, underneath the skin we all the same. All our blood is red. So I don't really, like I said, I don't see color. I have to accept and learn the culture my partner is in, of course, otherwise there will be issues. But other than that, that's just how, it's an experiment, and it's experience. It's awesome. You gotta learn it. You have your good days, you got your bad days, you got in a relationship, it doesn't matter what color or where the person is from. But you can make it work. We had a lot of hinder in our beginning, where people were telling us, oh, you guys not gonna make it, and nobody's gonna accept you, and who cares? As long as I accept who I am and who I'm with, shouldn't matter. And it didn't. Yeah, yes. Alright, last but not least, there says, There's always something new to learn. The beauty in interracial relationships and all relationships in general is the opportunity to learn and grow from someone who might come from a different background and a different perspective for you. The colorblind approach of not seeing a partner's race and understanding how that affects the way they navigate in a relationship isn't the right way to go about it. Instead, being willing to speak frankly about race is key. It's an opportunity for couples to become even more honest, more open, and most of all, more aware. Like I said, you have your differences or your difficulties in any relationship. It doesn't matter what race you with your same race or with your other race. And you fall in love who you fall in love with. If that relationship don't work and you go back to your old race, okay, so be it. But I'm just saying, it is what it is for that moment. Don't let nobody judge you or tell you it's wrong. You choose to be with somebody from a different race, keep going. Something attracted you, something makes you feel comfortable being around the person. So keep going. Don't let nobody tell you it's wrong. No, it's not. It's okay. Love who you want to love. Don't be afraid. Alright guys, I think that was very interesting, especially since my partner's from a different race than I am. Definitely a different culture. And we had head on head, but it worked its way out. We still head on head. Because of course, but that's the good thing about it. We're learning from each other on a constant basis. So that's what makes it fun. We don't agree all the time, but it works. So that said, I hope you like this one today. If you have any questions, comments, any suggestions, please do it down below in the comment box. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Definitely subscribe to my channel. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed today's topic. I hope I see you guys next time. And this is it for today. This is the German Girl Living in America. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss.